What's up, YouTube? What's up? This is Stations again. We're gonna go into some man-woman relationship. I always push the nature point of view. Everything supposed to be done in a natural way. We shouldn't forget how everything is placed out on this earth, how we're supposed to function. We always have to move forward with the structure of what we are as humans in a naturalistic way and keep that in motion. Today we're gonna talk about hypergamy. As you know, in men and women, we both have some hypergamy in the opposite. Men in terms hypergamous in his sense of quantity. Something that looks good. The top beauty. A woman's hypergamous nature is in the sense of the best person, the best man, right? Even though I have some questions about that. You know, let me make sure my volume is up. Okay. Yeah, I have some questions about that. And yeah, I like this. Yeah, I like that background. All right. Um, the question is, hypergamy is in a nature's point of view. Yes, we all want the best. We all want something that matches for us in the way that it doesn't it brings comfort, right? It brings comfort. Now, what I seem to understand is, okay, let me just give the little story first. So I was watching this clip of a show, and there's a couple, a man and a woman, and they had a daughter, and the daughter was of age, I think she was like 24, 25, and this is like back in the day type stuff. Where the daughters were sheltered until she have a husband. She would stay in the house and she would stay in the parents' house until she find a husband, right? A suitable husband. But the hypergamous nature, not in the daughter, but in the mother, is what the problem I found that we have a problem today. And I'm going to break it down. So, in the story, a mother and a father, they have a daughter. And these the mother and father, they makes a lot of money. They make a lot good. They're rich. They make a lot of money. And the daughter is now of age. She's still looking for a boyfriend. And she met this young man. He was a banker. Yeah, he was a little bit. He was like a year older than her. I think he's like 25, but he makes good money too. But the good-looking dude, the daughter was a good-looking girl as well. And that was like a pure innocent love, right? A pure innocent connection, right? You meet the guy you want to be with, teenage love, and boom, that's what you want to be with. Because when in teenagers, once they fall in love, it's almost like the purest form ever. So it's like they don't see nothing else, right? Now, the mother, I mean, the mother's a little bit, influenced the father to get rid of the guy because she don't think the young man makes it. She don't feel that he's pursuing enough income wise for her daughter. So she persuaded the father to manipulate him to walk away from the relationship so the mother can find her a better suitable rich man. And you know how that goes. So the father set him up, and the father gave him an ultimatum. And the ultimatum was, the young boy's a banker, and he said, listen, I could give you a job where you can make a lot more money, but you're going to have to move to most likely a whole different state. And he was like, okay, cool, that's fine. But the deal is, in order for him to do that, he would have to cut off the girl, right? And if he refused, he basically gonna mess his whole life up, but he could never work again. Well, maybe not work, but he ain't gonna work in. He's not gonna make money the way he want to make money. He's not ever gonna be a banker anymore. He probably gonna bar him from any job that he can make any sustainable income. But I mean, there's many ways, right? But the deal was for him to break up with the daughter. So, with being a young guy and intimidated by the father, he chose to focus on his career. Now, the mother intentions was she don't like the dude. He's a good looking dude. There's nothing wrong with him. But her perception is that he's not a potential money making, shark guy. He's not the type of guy where he seeks out power and infinite amount of money. He might be the guy where he just be a banker and he's cool with it. He might become a manager and he's cool. He might be a regional manager, but he's cool with that. He's not trying to be the richest man in the world, but the mother don't want that. And that's where the word hypergamy comes in. The mother is looking for the highest bidder of her, hypergamous nature, right? So my question is this: is hypergamy, uh, in how would you say, in nurtured to be taken advantage of, which put women in a, how would you say, selfish, greedy. I mean, you could even use the word gold digging, self-centered, conditional type of situation. Because any man who understand that hypergamous, right, a woman that's hypergamy, in a condition of, you gotta have some benefits beyond the point of me being with you, then you're not with me for the sake of the fact that I'm a human being and we just meet and connect naturally, organically. You're with me for the concept of I have to provide something for you. So when I combine, and also to there's another couple, similar couple to the teenage group, but this couple is a little bit older, and the mother wouldn't allow her daughter to be with this specific guy, even though he's a real estater. He makes decent money, he's okay, but he's just not top tier type of guy. And the mother refused for the daughter to marry him. But, they likes him, he's a cool guy, but he's not a top tier money making guy. So is hypergamy taught to women to abuse women, to use men, because that's really what it is. Hypergamy, the nature of the natural sector of a hypergamy is not for the woman to seek out the man for the most money he makes. It comes with a bunch of different variables, right? It's more of a connection first, right? Because then you have to make sure this person is genuinely not insane, right? He have good moral capabilities, right? And then after that, his ability to not be lazy and have the discernment to know how to make decisions and stuff like that, as well as skill of protection, right? Physical protection. As I said, me personally, when it comes to women, I don't think money should be the focus goal for a woman to even, seize a man or even consider a man. Because if that's the case, then as a man, I'm not gonna look at you as a genuine woman to me. You're here based on an income value, which puts you in a position as if I'm paying for what I asked for. But if the situation is genuine, where my ability to my being to you is beyond the concept of what I provide, which makes me even more want to provide, because you're not with me because of what I have. You're with me because of who I am as a individual person. I think from how I view this situation, hypergamy is being taught in a gold digging perspective. Girl, he ain't got enough money. I mean, he might work at McDonald's or some shit. He work mad hours. That means he don't have time for you. He need to get a job that makes that have less hours but makes a lot of money. Even that might be a good thing, but does that even that? Would how would that guy appreciate you? How would he look at you genuinely? It's not gonna be genuinely organic. It's not gonna be pure because in the back of your head, there's always like, if I don't have this, would she like? Would he? Would she still appreciate me? Would she still even want to care with me? Would do family only weigh on the man's side, or family weighs on both sides? You know, if the what if the woman, and especially in today's time, and even in back in the day, just to be clear, women always made money. Look at all the different stuff. Like I pay attention to a lot of these tribal clans that's around the world still to this day. Even though some of them are slowly developing to the modern age, but they're trying to keep it as simple as possible. They still have a structure where the man and the woman play a part. Yeah, the men do take on the heavy object or the most dangerous things. But guess what? The woman will be right there with him. She do the part where it could be he might not be able to have the strength to lift a certain part. She could be there to help him put the extra weight to release the extra weight off so he can actually move and do what he got to do. Or he might be too much things to carry, and she might be there to help him carry some of the stuff in the lighter weight area. It could be that she come from a rich family and she's secure for what she have, and he come from he just don't have the money that she has. But who says she can't use her resources to build a family? Who says she can't use her resources to keep the family secured, or in terms of financial basis? And he could just use his physical abilities, to protect the family. But does that, and also too, does that change the man from being the man of the house? No, he's still the man. He still have the laws and the order of how things function in the household, and she still follow as well. She's gonna put her guidelines in there. It's not like women don't have the ability to make law and order, but the men stick to order. Women tend to break their orders, and that's why men tend to be the more stable type of leaders, because we keep things. We don't just change because of how we feel. We do it because it's just necessary. The law is a law. Once it's done, it's done. You can't take it back. If you keep changing it, then it's not. It's not stagnant. It's not going to stick. You're going to disrupt the people, the community. It's not. Nobody going to believe anything you say. So, to me, hypergamy is a spoiled behavior from day one. It's how you was raised. If you're raised told that you got to look for the highest bidder, because if you look at women today, even presently in today, in most countries all over the world, I'm not saying every woman are raised like that, but majority of them, especially in the West, I would say in Europe as well, Caribbean as well. I can't speak for all of Africa or Asia, but Russia. You're told from a young age. Some women decide not to. Some women choose to say, you know what, I don't care about the money. I just care about him. So what? If we could be homeless together. The goal is, the thing is this: when you find somebody to be with that person, the money is the object for y'all to buy food or whatever the case is. If the person is lazy or they have no motivation to do anything, I can dig it. I mean, you might have to walk away, or you might have to inspire them somehow so they can be better, or have a reason. But in most men's situation, just by having the woman, and the fact that the woman show him love and commitment, and so a good support system, he is motivated and submissive, being submissive, very submissive, also spontaneous as well. It motivates him to want to do more, to make more, to go to work and stuff like that. But that also says too, that doesn't mean the woman don't have to work as well. And here's the thing, they both can go and make money and have a genuine relationship in a natural state of frame, not in the nurturing state of, not nurturing state of frame, natural state of frame, meaning you do things in a natural sense. You're not scoping by the materialistic of the world. You're picking and choosing by the factors of how the person feel or behave, or how they make you laugh, how they're trustworthy, how they're loyal to you, how they look out for your well-being, how they make sure, you know, like for example, I'm gonna give a perfect example. Say you meet a girl and she might have, a pet peeve, like she like just dropping trash in the floor or some shit. Just something simple. You as a man, you wouldn't have a problem. You just be like, man, I gotta clean up behind her. I ain't, but you ain't gonna complain about it. Generally, men don't really complain about it. But you accept her for who you are. Well, if she was to leave and then disappear, right? Past or something like that, that memory of that thing that you used to do gonna always be there. You're gonna always be like, damn, I remember she used to always take a candy wrapper and just leave them on the table. And I'll just come and throw them away. Yeah, it was a little annoying sometimes, but it's almost as if she's literally deliberately leaving there for me to just know that she's there. You know? And that's sometimes that's how bonding comes sometimes. It's all about you got me, I got you. It's the same as where the man come home, or he have a habit of, I don't know, when he comes sleep in the bed, ruffling up the pillows a certain type of way. And she always have to be the one to, readjust the pillows. And that's a memory for her. Now he's gone and the pillow is all roughed up. She start fixing the pillows and then boom, fall into the trance of like, damn, I remember he used to do this all the time. And that's a genuine connection right there, because there's some kind of there's some kind of tangible thing there where it reminds you of each other. Now, when it comes to money, you can use money too, but if it's a one-sided story where the woman is only seeking out the man based on his income, or the pressure for him to make money is all on him. What about you? This is we in the era now where y'all can work. Y'all been in the black women's in the African women, black women, the melanin women, they're always working. I grew up seeing women working just as much as men. Yes, you have some women being housewives, but they still work. They still have to clean the yard. They have to wash dishes. They have to make sure the kids go to school. They used to do community things. Da, 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 da. That's working. They wasn't just sitting in the house doing nothing, watching TV. TV was the downtime. Shit, sometimes you couldn't even watch TV. So, I'm not gonna go along with this, but I generally see hypergamy to be a negative influence behavior. And also too, the negative influence behavior is on the man's side. Man influences hypergamy women. I'm saying that out loud because that's what it is. Men are the one who's pushing. Yeah, women seeking it out. They've been molded to, influence. Well, men influence hypergamy to be the highest bidder, right? They're influencing it, meaning like they know women like fancy things and this, that. So what men do, they compete with who got the most money. And then women now also use that and push for the agenda that if a man wants something from you, he only got to bring some money. So if the only thing that men want, just to be clear, the general purpose for a man to seek out a woman is between children and sex. So her womb, as they say. So if that's the case, then women are selling their children in their womb. They're basically using their bodies just to justify how much money the man have. Now, do we have a price on humans? Is we slaves now? So we are exercising the slave mentality of buying somebody or having a price for the person. I don't want no price on my woman. My woman shouldn't have no price on me. Because if that's the case, then every week I get paid, put some money down on the bills, and I give her extra $200-300, and I say, listen, you know what that for? For each hundred, for the 200-300, that's like what? That's like an allowance for 5 days, at least 4 days of the week. Anything I want, because you still gotta buy food and extra things. It doesn't work like that. We gotta keep things general. We gotta keep things in the most naturalistic, peaceful way possible. Hypergamy is a jealous. Hypergamy is a controlling, selfish. How should I say? Controlling, selfish, greedy, manipulative way of looking at a relationship. It's not a fair deal. And on the flip side for the women, on the flip side, and that's the women. On the flip side for the men, men should stop influencing hypergamy. If men stop using, let me say not value, if men stop using money to value a woman's vagina or her body or to have children, there wouldn't be no hypergamy in that sense. The only women would pick a man based on his personal stature, his personal behavior, moralism, right? Versus how much money he have. The money will be something that you'll be developing in the relationship together. And based on the money and the income you have is how you live. And that's how that's supposed to be. And that's the truth. And that's the natureless way. You do it organically. You let it flow. You let it flow from the connection and the bonding or the pair bond of the couple. Or the couples. Polygamy is involved. Because he could have pair bonding with 2 or 3 females. And they all can have the same natural understanding where they bonded to that man, and the all female can work just as much as the male can work, as well as in polygamy. Whether it's in monogamy. But this is my last piece. Like I said, hypergamy for women is being influenced to be selfish and greedy towards men, use men for their own selfish gain. Right, so therefore, it's you're almost basically selling your body for a price, right? Based on what the man's provide, or what you're willing to settle for. And then on the flip side, men influence that because they're chasing the V, and they're willing to pay for it. They're basically paying for it, and it's like if you find a pretty girl, you put her on the chopping block, and every man is putting up how much money he want to auction her for because of how pretty she is. But if she's not too pretty, you're gonna have a lower price. That's what hypergamous is when it comes to the money. You're auctioning off your body. You're basically selling your body for the man who have the most money. You're not picking the man because he's the most kindest. No, you're picking him based on his income, and then you figure out if you could live with him or not. Then you figure out if you could settle for him or not. That's not how he's supposed to work. The bonding's supposed to happen first. Not I need to know his pockets, then I could think about bonding. Because at the end of the day, the pockets is the main agenda. So like I said, women are being influenced by men as well as being encouraged from a young age to be gold diggers, basically. Hypergamous gold diggers, or hypergamous G's. That's what I'm calling them, hypergamous G's. and men influence it because they're trying to auction off women for the highest bidder. And with that said, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Hypergamy's influence. You know, to be G's, gold diggers. And men influencing it to auction off the women to say I got the most money, so I could pay for it. That's what I think it is. Like, and let me know what you guys think. And leave comments. Let me know how you feel about it. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay. Peace.